You're bleeding leads right now and you don't even know it. All right. I see it every single day. Business owners pouring time and money into strategies that stopped working years ago, wondering why their pipeline is bone dry. So, in this video, I'm going to expose the biggest lead generation mistake I've seen destroy over 200 businesses, show you what to do instead, and give you the exact system that's filling my clients' calendars right now. To start, let me show you the one habit that's silently repelling every single lead that comes your way. All right. We have a slideshow here. All right. So most business owners think lead generation is about getting more eyeballs, more posts, more ads, more outreach. So they spend every morning blasting out cold DMs, posting generic content, and praying somebody bites. And when nobody does, they do more of it harder, louder, faster. That's the habit here, right? Volume without any value. And it's not just ineffective, it's actively pushing people away as well. Let me show you what I mean. I had a client named Marcus who ran a digital marketing agency. Solid guy, knew his stuff, got great results for the clients he did have. All right. But his pipeline was empty. He told me he was sending 50 cold DMs a day on LinkedIn, 50 every single day for 4 months. You know how many clients he got from that? Two. And that's what's, two clients from over 6,000 messages. But here's the part that really hurt him. When I took up his LinkedIn profile, I saw something brutal. People were actually visiting his page, hundreds of them. They were clicking on his profile after getting his message. But then they'd see it with a generic headline, a wall of text about his credentials, and zero proof that he could actually help them. So they'd leave, every single one of them. And Marcus wasn't really bad at lead generation. He was good at lead repulsion here, right? He was doing the work to get the attention, then slapping people in the face with a reason not to trust him the second they showed up. The conflict wasn't the DMs either, right? The conflict was what happened after someone showed even a tiny bit of interest. And that's the habit I'm talking about. You're spending all your energy on the first touch and zero energy on what happens when somebody actually looks your way. So here's what Marcus did instead, all right? And this is what you should do today. Instead of sending 50 messages a day, he sent 10. But before he sent a single one, he built his profile around one thing: proof and his offer. Client results, screenshots, before and after numbers, a headline that said exactly who he helped and what results he got them. Within 2 weeks, the same number of profile visitors started turning into actual conversations. His response rate went from 3 to 22%, not because his messages got better, but because people saw it's because of what people saw when they clicked. And it was finally, worth trusting. All right. His profile was optimized with the right things here. So here's your quick win. Go look at whatever page a lead would land on after their first interaction with you: your LinkedIn, your website, your Instagram bio. Now ask yourself one question: does the page make me look good, or does it make the visitor feel like I can solve their problem? If it's the first one, you just found your leak. Now that you fixed the habit that's been pushing leads away, we need to talk about what actually pulls them in, because most people think they know what attracts leads, and most people are dead wrong. That's why lead generation is such a big sector. All right. Here's what everybody tells you to do to attract leads. They tell you post valuable content, show up consistently, build your personal brand, etc., etc. Engage in comments, be authentic. And look, none of that is technically wrong here, all right? But the problem, and this is the problem here, there are millions of people doing all of that right now, and the vast majority of them are completely invisible. Think about it like a farmer's market. Everyone tells you to grow great tomatoes if you want to sell at the market, all right? So you grow perfect tomatoes, you set up the stall, your tomatoes are shiny, ripe, beautiful, and fresh out of your garden. But then you look around and there are 400 other people at the same market selling the exact same perfect tomatoes. So everyone's just selling tomatoes today in this industry. Nobody walks to your stall because there's nothing different about yours, like Your tomatoes are red, just like everyone else's. They're shiny, just like everyone else's. And that's what post valuable content has become. It's table stakes, really. It doesn't differentiate you anymore. So, what does specific? And the thing here is specificity. All right, we're being specific. I had another client, a business coach named Priya, who spent 8 months posting motivational content about growing your business and leveling up your mindset. This is solid advice. Beautifully designed graphics, but completely generic here with the results because she got 0 leads. We changed one thing. Instead of talking about growing your business, we made every piece of content about one specific person, a female service based business owner doing between 5 to 15K per month who wanted to hit 30K without hiring a team. Right? Every post, every caption, every story spoke directly to that person's specific frustrations, not struggling to grow. Instead, you're stuck at 8K months because you're trading hours for dollars and you can't figure out how to break the ceiling without burning out. Within 6 weeks, Priya's DMs went from empty to averaging 4 to 5 inbound messages a day from women who said, I feel like you're talking directly to me. That's the power of specificity. When you talk to everybody, nobody listens. When you talk to one person, that one person feels like you read their diary. Here's how to apply this right now. I take whatever you're selling and answer these 3 questions. First, who specifically has the problem you solve? Second, what does their daily pain actually feel like? Third, what number are they trying to hit? Once you have all those 3 answers, rewrite your next 5 pieces of content speaking only to that person. Don't worry about alienating everyone else. That's the point here, all right? But here's the thing, even when you nail the specificity and your content starts attracting the right people, there is a massive gap between someone being interested, and someone actually becoming a lead. And that gap is where most businesses lose 80% of their potential clients here, all right? Let's switch slides. All right, this is the mistake that's sadly killing most people's lead flow. And this is the one I promised you at the start of the video, all right? Most business owners treat interest and leads as the same thing. They're not. Someone liking your post is not a lead, definitely not a lead. Someone watching your story is also not a lead. Those are just interested strangers. A lead is someone who has raised their hand and given you a way to continue the conversation. The gap between interest and lead is it's like a canyon, all right? And almost nobody builds a little bridge across it, and that's what we're trying to do here. Think about it like this. Imagine you own a store on a busy street. Hundreds of people walk past your window every day. Some of them stop, they look in, they're curious, but you don't have a door. There's no way in, so they just keep walking past your store. The bridge is what I call a capture mechanism. It's a thing that converts a curious stranger into a contactable lead. I audited a fitness coach's business funnel last year. She had 12,000 Instagram followers, solid engagement, people in her DMs asking questions, but she was only booking about 2 sales calls a month. And her bio said, download my free guide to getting fit. The link went to a landing page with a stock photo and a form asking for name, email, phone number, and what are your fitness goals. 4 fields here, right? For a free PDF that was 47 pages of general fitness advice. Here's what we changed here, all right? We replaced the 47-page guide with a single-page checklist called the 5-minute morning routine that burns fat while you make coffee. We cut the form down to 1 field, just the email, and we changed the landing page headline to the morning routine my clients use to lose 2 pounds per week without stepping foot in a gym. Her opt-in rate went from 1.8% to 14.3%, and that's not a typo. That's the same traffic, the same followers, same audience, just a better bridge and a simpler bridge. I've been removing friction here by removing the 3 other questions you're asking your potential leads to just the email address, which is the most powerful anyways. So here's the formula. Your capture mechanism needs 3 things. 1, a hyper-specific promise that solves 1 immediate problem. 2, the lowest possible friction. All right? 1 field, 1 click. And 3, instant perceived value. A checklist, a template, a swipe file, something they can use in 5 minutes. Your quick win. Go look at your current lead magnet right now. I'd count the form fields, read the headline, ask yourself, would I actually stop what I'm doing to get this? If the answer is no, that's your biggest leak. Now, you might be thinking, okay, great. I'll fix my lead capture mechanism, but what do I actually give people that makes them want to opt in, right? Most people think a lead magnet needs to be impressive, long, detailed, and packed with value. So they spend 3 weeks writing a 30-page ebook, designing it with fancy graphics. Then they attract a bunch of people who wanted free stuff and have zero intention of ever paying. That's the mistake I made with my current lead magnet. It's over 200 pages, but it's pretty good. So this is an exception. The goal of a lead magnet is not to impress people. The goal is to give someone a small, quick win that makes them think, if the free stuff is this good, what does the paid stuff look like? I call this the trailer principle. Your lead magnet should give them a taste, a real result, a real win, and that taste makes them hungry for the full meal. I was working with a consultant named Derek who helped restaurants. His lead magnet was a 22-page guide called The Complete Guide to Restaurant Profitability. Nobody who downloaded it ever became a client, not one in 4 months. I asked Derek, if someone reads all 22 pages and follows every step, do they still need you? He said, honestly, probably not. He gave away the whole movie. And, it is what it is. So he replaced it with a single Google Sheet template called the Menu Profit Calculator. Every restaurant owner who used it had the same reaction. Oh my God, I had no idea my pasta dishes were losing me money. And then how do I fix this? That is the question you want your lead magnet to trigger. The problem is there. They start recognizing the problem and then they want to solve it. Derek's lead to call rate went from 0 to 31%. So build yours. All right, this is what we're going to do. This is how we build yours. And the first step here is pick one hidden problem. The second step is create a tool that reveals it in under 5 minutes. And step 3, make the next step your paid offer where you solve the problem that you just helped them find. All right. Everyone thinks great content is the hard part. It's not. It's really not. All right. Getting the right people to see that content is actually the hard part. And, if you're doing YouTube, you'll recognize this. Most business owners create a piece of content and then share it once. All right. They post it on their feed, maybe put it in their story, and then they wait. If it doesn't get traction, they blame the algorithm. That's like spending 3 hours cooking an incredible meal, putting it on a table in the middle of a forest, and getting mad. Nobody showed up to eat it. Right? We're not putting it in the right place. Here's what the people who actually generate leads from content do differently. And they spend about 20% of their time creating content and 80% of it, 80% of the rest of the time distributing it. A guy named Andre ran a small accounting firm. He posted one piece of content per week, only one, but that one piece showed up everywhere. LinkedIn, Twitter posts, threads, Instagram carousels, Reels, TikToks, email lists, Facebook groups, DMs to warm prospects. One piece of content, 7 or 8 touch points. It's called the mere exposure effect. The more someone sees you, the more they trust you. Your step-by-step here is to take whatever content you create this week and distribute it to at least 5 channels, not 5 new pieces of content for each channel, just the same idea reformatted. All right. Everyone says you need to build trust, but there's a shortcut called the transfer trust. All right. We're going to dive into this right now. You don't start from zero with every lead. Instead, you borrow credibility from sources they already trust. There are 3 ways to do this. All right. The first is client stories, not testimonials. Those are boring. Tell your clients stories before and after, the specific numbers, the emotional journey. The second is strategic collaborations. When someone your audience already trusts introduces you, their trust transfers instantly to them. All right. I've seen business owners generate 15 to 20 qualified leads from a single guest appearance in a private Facebook group with 500 members. This could also work in podcasts and, featured videos, etc., etc. The third is borrowed proof. All right, reference frameworks, data, or methods from recognized authorities and show how you've applied them. So here's what we're gonna do here. All right, pick your best client results, write out their story in three parts: where they were before, what the struggle looked like, and where they are now. So the transformation, the journey, and the end, like the beginning, journey, and end. Post that story this week. Don't pitch anything and just tell the story. All right. Think about the last time you wanted to buy something online but didn't. Not because you couldn't afford it, but because something about the process felt annoying, confusing, or hard. And that's what we've called friction here. All right. Unfortunately, and it's the silent killer of lead generation. Every extra step between I'm interested and I'm a lead costs you roughly 20% of your potential leads. I had a client who's a wedding photographer, 25,000 followers, only 3 inquiries per month. Her contact form had 9 fields. Right? We cut it to 3 fields: name, email, wedding date, simple type form that loaded in 2 seconds. Her inquiries went from 3 per month to 14. All right. Friction isn't about the forms. All right. It's in your messaging, your pricing, and your call to action. Every time a lead has to think about what to do next, a percentage stop doing anything. All right. They just stop, melt right there. All right. Map out the exact journey from first impression to lead and write down every single step. Then just cut it in half. All right. It's going to help you out. And this is all learned knowledge here. So from trial and errors. So you will have the easy way out if you implement these things. All right. And here's a quick win for you as well. Open your phone, go on your Instagram or website as a stranger, try to become a lead. If it takes more than 30 seconds or more than 3 taps, you're leaking leads. And that is not good because we don't want to leak leads. Next slide. If I lost everything tomorrow and needed leads fast, this is the first thing I'd do. It doesn't cost a single penny either. All right. I call this the watering hole strategy. Your leads already gather in specific places: Facebook groups, Reddit communities, Slack channels, Discord servers, and industry forums. They're already there talking about the problems you solve. I worked with a brand new business coach named Aisha. 0 following, 0 email list, 90 days of runway. We identified the 5 Facebook groups were ideal clients were most active. She didn't spam, she didn't pitch because they'll ban you if you do that stuff. Every morning, she spent 30 minutes finding posts where someone was asking for help and wrote them something helpful without being salesy. I detailed answer, and she answered in as much detail as she could. And that is really important. And there was no DM me for more info. Like there's no call to action. It's just pure value advice. Within 3 weeks, people started clicking her profile and messaging her. In 60 days, Aisha had 9 paying clients from Facebook groups with 0 followers. All right, here is some help for you. Find 3 to 5 online communities where your ideal clients hang out. Spend 30 minutes a day answering questions. Make sure your profile says who you help. Within 2 to 4 weeks, inbound messages start. All right, but you got to do this consistently. This takes time. This works incredibly well for first leads. All right, but it doesn't scale. So next, you need a system that generates leads while you sleep. Okay, we're starting off small and then we want systemized things. All right. All right, next slide. The CAP system. Most business owners hit a wall. They find a way to get leads, but it only works when they're actively doing it. The second they stop, the leads stop. They're stuck on a hamster wheel. The difference between a business that plateaus and one that scales is a system that generates leads whether you're working or not. Think about like plumbing. Most business owners are carrying water in buckets. What you need is a pipe. All right. The simplest lead generation engine has 3 components: the CAP system. C is content pillar. 1 long form piece per week: YouTube, blog, podcast, LinkedIn, specific, valuable, with a natural bridge to your lead magnet. A, automated capture. Your lead magnet opt-in page chatbot works 24/7. When someone reads your content at 2 a.m., they can become a lead at 2 a.m. P, pre-built follow-up. 5 to 7 email sequence over 2 weeks that builds trust, delivers value, and makes an offer automatically. All right, a real estate coach named Jordan went from 10 to 15 leads a month with 4 hours a day to 40 to 60 leads per month with 3 hours a week after building his cap. All right. Map out your 3 pieces. What's your content pillar? What's your automated capture? And what will your follow-up emails say? All right. Now, there we go. Follow-ups and referrals. All right. You already had enough leads hit your revenue goal. All right. So you got your leads and you hit your revenue goal. You just let them die. All right. So it'll make sense though. All right. The average business follows up with a new lead exactly 1.3 times before giving up, which is pretty much nothing. Studies show it takes 8 touch points before someone is ready to buy, and 7 hours of knowing you. That was a Google study. So I don't know if it's true, but yeah. A web designer named Travis was generating 25 leads per month, but only closing 1 to 2 clients. His follow-up, 1 email. Thank you for your interest. Here's my portfolio. We built a 7 email sequence over 14 days. At day 0, you delivered the lead magnet, set expectations. Day 1, client case study with numbers. Day 3, tackle biggest objection. Day 5, free quick call win checklist. Day 7, social proof screenshots. Day 10, the offer, 1 click to book. You put your booking link there. Day 14, last chance. What are you losing? And what they're losing out by not taking action as well. And Travis went from closing 1 to 2 to closing 5 to 7 clients a month with this, and he's mega big now. Same leads, same offer, same pricing. So here, I want you to write down the 5 biggest reasons someone would not buy. All right, it's a little different, but we got to know it. All right, objections here. Write 1 email for each. So for each objection, we write an email, add a case study plus offer email, and that's your sequence. Pretty simple. All right. The average referral lead converts at 3 to 5 times the rate of a cold lead, and that's why referrals are pretty valuable as well. All right. Most people treat referrals like the weather. You absolutely can engineer referrals. Right? They don't just change every day. So you can create a predictable system with this. A financial advisor named Diane had been in business 11 years. Almost all her clients came from cold outreach and ads. Referrals, a few per year only, and she never asked for them. I don't want to be pushy. That's what she said. Your happy clients want to refer you. All right, they want people to experience this as well. They don't just think about it. They think about it, but they don't really pursue it, right? And referring requires effort. Think of someone, reach out, explain what you do, make the connection. There's too many steps here. All right. The fix, make it stupidly easy. Referral in a box. After every successful interaction, send a message with 3 things. Number 1, the specific result you helped them achieve. Number 2, a simple ask. Number 3, a shareable link they can forward in 10 seconds. So, you get a client win, you tell them, this is a great win. And then you tell them, is there anyone in your network that you could refer us to? If you want, just send them this link and let us know. All right. So that's pretty simple. And then went from a few per year to 3 to 4 referrals per month. And close rate on referral leads was 62%. They're almost guaranteed to close if it's a service they need. Quick win. Pick 3 of your happiest clients. Text them today with a specific compliment and a booking link. 3 texts, 5 minutes. All right, we're not being complicated here. All right. I hope you guys can read this because, it's a big slide. I'll scroll down later, but I'll get the part. All right. There are people who already have the audience you want. They've spent years building that trust with your ideal clients, and most of them are not your competitors, all right? A web designer and a copywriter serve the same client, but don't compete. A personal trainer and a nutritionist serve the same person, but offer different things here. These are called partnership opportunities, all right? The most underused lead generation strategy. Bookkeeping service owner named Raj reached out to 5 Shopify consultants. Same client, different service. He offered this, all right? I'll create a free financial health checklist for your e-commerce clients. You shared, anyone who opts in, I'll handle $200 referral bonus per client. 3 said yes. First month, 47 new leads, with a 28% close rate. So the point of this is this, all right? Find your partners. List every service provider your ideal client uses before and after they need you. Reach out with an offer that benefits them, a free resource, a guest workshop, a joint webinar. So a quick win is to do this. All right. Identify one person this week who serves your clients but doesn't compete with you. Reach out with a genuine compliment and one collaboration idea. All right. Most business owners either like don't really track anything or rattle off vanity metrics like I got 10,000 impressions. That is absolutely great. But how many leads did you get from those? Because those are the actual numbers that matter. And they'll say stuff like, I'm not sure. So there are only 4 numbers that matter. Okay. That was 3. So 4 numbers that matter. All right. Traffic. How many people see your stuff? Low visibility equals low. If it's low, it's a visibility problem. All right. Number 2, opt-in rate. What percentage become leads? Low equals capture problem. All right. Number 3, lead to call rate. What percentage book a call? If it's low, it's a nurture problem. Number 4, close rate. What percentage become clients? If it's low, it's a sales problem. Right? We want to diagnose every step of this because then we'll know what we can fix because these are all fixable things. All right. When you know these 4 numbers, you can diagnose exactly where your leak is. A client was spending $2,000 a month on Instagram, just Instagram boosts for more traffic. She had 3,000 visitors a month, which is not bad, but her opt-in rate was 0.8%. Her lead magnet was absolutely terrible. She didn't have a traffic problem. She had a capture problem, pouring water into a bucket with a hole. Right? It's just leaking out of the bucket. We fixed her lead magnet. Opt-in rate jumped to 7.2%. Same 3,000 followers, 216 leads, roughly 16 to 20, 220 to 216 leads per month instead of 24. And saved her to $2,000 per month in ads and just boosted posts, not even ads that were not properly structured. So go find these 4 numbers, put them in a spreadsheet and update them weekly and fix the weakest one first. And then you can, if you fix the weakest one, then we can improve. So you just want to, so this is this broken capture, fix opt-in, fix calls, and then, 216 leads. All right. So let's talk about this. The 2026 shift. The market shifted. If you're still doing lead generation to 2023, 2024, you're way behind. I mean, even today, like the market within just this month shifted so much. So we can like divide 2026 into multiple buckets. All right. Anyways, average person receives 121 emails per day. Ad costs are up 40% in 18 months. And consumer trust is at an all-time low with all the things going on in the world right now. People are skeptical, crypto's down, etc., etc. These are all. You don't have to pay attention to these things, but these all affect the market and consumer. So, what works now? Micro communities and conversational lead generation. That's what works now. A marketing consultant named Olivia had 40,000 Instagram followers, generating 8 leads per month, which is pretty bad. She started a free Slack community called the Growth Lab, and 340 people joined. That's the number we're looking for, all right? She had real conversations, answered questions in real time, hosted casual Friday AMAs. Within 2 months, 22 leads per month, more than double of what that 40,000 was generating, which was nothing, like 40,000 to 8 leads per month is just not good. So, and we're getting 22 leads per month from just a community of 340 people. All right. The shift is from volume to intimacy. All right. From broadcasting to conversing, like having a conversation. All right. So pick one problem, create a clear value proposition, not a join my community, but join 200 service-based business owners sharing what's actually working in 2026. Set a weekly rhythm, show up as a person, not a brand. All right, we want to be there to help people. So if I showed 100 people your website and asked them an hour later what you do, how many could really tell me? If less than 90%, you have a positioning problem. Right? Most people describe what they do either in a too vague way, like I help businesses grow, or too complicated jargon nobody understands, like super specific things like Every star has to align, etc., etc. We don't want to be too broad or too specific. All right. And the fix here is the one line magnet. The formula for this is I help specific person get specific result without specific pain they want to avoid. Not I'm a marketing consultant. Instead, I help service-based business owners fill their calendar with qualified leads without running a single ad. Not I'm a financial advisor. Instead, I help business owners who make over 200K keep an extra 30 to 60K per year. A business coach named Leon changed his LinkedIn headline from business coach, helping entrepreneurs succeed, to I help agency owners add 10 to 30K per month in recurring revenue without hiring more staff. Profile views tripled, 2 to 3 inbound messages per week. Write your one line magnet now, put it everywhere: LinkedIn, Instagram, bio, website headline, your website header, email signature, Zoom name, everywhere where your name is, right now in your email list. I'm switching topics. Let me see if there's any graphics to show you. Nope. All right, cool. So right now in your email list, old DMs, CRM, phone contacts, there's leads who said no, ghosted, or said not right now. And most business owners treat them like they're dead. No usually means not yet. All right. A sales trainer named Kendra had 800 dead contacts in her CRM. She considered them worthless. We built a resurrection sequence. And this is pretty important because you're going to convert some people from this. All right. 3 emails over 1 week. Email 1. Hey, we spoke a while back. A lot has changed. I helped ex-clients achieve result. Is original problem that they had is still something you're dealing with, right? Email 2, case study, pure value, no pitch there. Email 3, soft offer, 3 spots open this month for a free strategy call. All right, you just got to see what works here because some of these don't work. So it has to be like a good soft offer. All right. Out of 800 dead leads, 147 open, 34 clicked, 11 booked calls. She closed 4, which is $48,000 from 3 emails. This is insane, like insane. Go through your old contacts, please. Don't overthink the message. Keep it human. Add 1 piece of proof and 1 easy next step. Quick win. Send 3 resurrection messages today to your warmest dead leads. All right. So how fast do you respond when a new lead comes in? This is super important, right? If longer than 5 minutes, you're losing leads to someone else. Unfortunately, that is the reality. All right. Harvard Business Review said this is what they said about this. All right. Businesses who respond within 5 minutes are 100 times more likely to connect compared to 30 minutes. All right. Like if this is Harvard, so we can't really question this. All right. And I've seen it in my own business. Like if we don't reply to people within 5 minutes, the leads never convert. So I'm not gonna say never, just rarely convert. All right. When someone fills out your form, they're at peak interest right now. 5 minutes later, checking another email. 30 minutes, moved on completely, and tomorrow you're just a ghost. A real estate agent was getting 15 leads per week from Zillow, converting 1 to 2 per month. Average response time was 4 hours. All right. So we don't like that. We set up an automatic text within 60 seconds. Hey, name, this is Mike. Saw you're working in properties, saw you're looking at properties in X area, let's say Brickell. I'm free to chat in the next 20 minutes. What works for you? This was the connection right here. I'm 12 to 41%, and monthly closings jumped from 1 to 2 to 4 to 5 per month. All right. So we want to set up a notification for every new lead, not email, a text alert. If you can't respond personally, set up an automated first touch within 60 seconds. All right. This is very important. All right. All right, this is your 30-day game plan because we offer solutions on this channel. We don't just talk about random things and not give you the solution and give you, like others. So we actually give you something implementable. This is your 30-day game plan. All right. You attracted the right person. They've opted in. You booked a call. Now what? All right. Most business owners treat the sales call like a pitch, features, pricing. So what do you think? All right. And the lead says, let me think about it. And that's a code for no. All right, they're gone. The fix is a value first conversation. Instead of pitching, you diagnose. Instead of selling, you solve. And a client named Sam closed at 65%. Most people close at 15 to 25%. For the first 20 minutes, he didn't talk about himself. He asked deep questions. Then he gave them a win on the call before asking for $1. All right, this is the structure you want to follow in your calls here. The first 5 minutes, rapport, be a human. Like, it's not necessary. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes either. Just, be a human being and be polite. So, next 15 minutes, diagnosis, uncover the real problem. Next 5 minutes, quick win, one actionable piece of advice. And the last 5 minutes is the bridge. Here's what the full solution involves and how you can proceed. All right, no pitch, no pressure. The leads sell themselves because you already proved you can help. All right, there's nothing to sell because you showed them the process and it's obviously effective, and they're not gonna, unless they don't want to pay in general. All right. So a quick win here is write 3 diagnosis questions that go deeper than surface level before your next call. All right. This is the problem nobody warns you about as well. Lead generation starts working. You're overwhelmed. You stop marketing to focus on clients. All right. This is really bad. We don't want to do this because pipeline empties. You panic and start marketing again. The feast or famine cycle, which is the number one reason service businesses stay stuck at 5 to 15K months. All right. The fix here is the 3-2-1 weekly system. 3 hours a week on content and distribution. Monday morning, non-negotiable, your cap system. 2 hours per week on relationship building. Tuesday afternoon, communities, partnerships, networking. 30 minutes answering questions. 5 DMs, 1 partner outreach. 1 hour per week on system optimization. Friday afternoon, look at numbers, tweak lead magnet, improve follow-up, test new headline. All right, a consultant named Maya was stuck in a feast or famine cycle for 2 years, which is a terrible place to be in. Revenue would spike to 20K, then crash to 4K. After 3-2-1 stabilized between the 3-2-1 system that we talked about just before, this stabilized between 14 to 18K per month within 3 months, all right, because we're not stopping anything, all right? So I want you to open your calendar, block the 3-2-1 windows for next week, Monday 3 hours, Tuesday 2 hours, and Friday 1 hour. The calendar doesn't lie, all right? We do things on the calendar always, all right? So 19 strategies, frameworks, and fixes here. Here's your exact game plan, all right? I know I gave a little sales help in the beginning and other things. So, but here's the exact game plan for your next 30 days. All right. Week 1, fix the foundation, audit your online presence, write one line magnet, map lead journey and cut steps in half, build fixed lead magnet, set up automated capture. Week 2, build the engine, write 7 email follow-ups, set the distribution channels, join a couple communities, reach out to partners, send resurrection sequences or reactivation sequences to dead leads, right? On week 3, turn everything on. Publish content pillar, distribute it to all channels, engage in communities 30 minutes daily, follow up within 5 minutes, ask 3 clients for referrals, track your 4 numbers, all right? Week number 4, optimize, fix biggest drop off, test new headlines, tweak follow up, reach out to 3 more partners, evaluate micro community, and set up the 3-2-1 weekly system. That's the whole system. All right, 4 weeks, every client story: Marcus, Priya, Derek, Aisha, Travis, Diane, Raj, Olivia, Leon, Kendra, Sam, Maya. It's the same framework and the same results. All right, but here's the problem: leads don't pay your bills. Clients do. All right. And the fastest way to lose a client you just closed is by screwing up the onboarding. All right. So watch the videos on my channel where I show you the exact client onboarding systems that turn new clients into long-term partnerships and repeat buyers. And there's also other stuff you want to take a look at. All right. So check out the other videos in the channel.